Hey, what's going on, people? I realize I've been slacking with this CD collection thing. I only did part one, and I've basically been everywhere else except for here. So I'm gonna grab some rest of my CD collection. Well, not the rest of it, but I got another pile. First one I'll start with the GZA, Legend of the Liquid Swords. I don't know if y'all can see that without all the glare. I thought it was really good. And couldn't complain, you know. It's not gonna compare to the first Liquid Swords because that was a classic. But I thought it knocked pretty hard. The lyrics were dope. Some of y'all might disagree with me, all the hardcore Wu fans. I'm not a hardcore Wu fan. I'm basically mostly a GZA fan and ODB. But yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. Souls of Mischief, 93 to Infinity. Now this was a classic. This was back in the day, like Oakland, California, 1993, baby. It really don't get no harder than this because what amazed me about these cats is they were 16, 17, 18, coming right out of high school, and they're spitting like that. And nowadays, people look at, you know, cats like Soulja Boy and everything, and they're like, oh, well, he only 18, how he gonna spit some super lyrical stuff, and yada, 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 and you listen to this, and that just shuts your whole argument up. Like, hands down. Because I think these cats were still in high school when they made this. But check it out, especially tracks like 93 to Infinity and Never No More, which is my favorite joint on there. The beat is banging and they spit fire, dude. Yeah, y'all don't understand. It's real shit. The High Respects, Tiger Dancing. A lot of y'all don't know what this is. Y'all don't know if you ever heard of the High Respects. A group out of Minnesota. They're actually a band, and what I like to describe them as kind of like if you cross the Roots and Atmosphere. That's exactly what it would sound like. They even have the dynamic of the old school Roots because they have two MCs, or one's a part-time MC, he's part-time MC and he does a little bit of beatboxing, and that, which I think is really dope. The main rapper is Felix, and he sounds a lot like Slug and something to that effect. But they're a really good band, and I think they have about 3 or 4 albums, and I've heard them all. This is the only one I own, but all of them are dope. I've seen them live too, so if you see them in your area, check them out. Man. Asimov, and now this group is kind of close to, I feel kind of close to this group because they're from my home state of Florida. They're from Jacksonville, and I really feel that like the whole dynamic, I was like kind of blown away when they came out. This album came out like '95. I saw them live first, and then I copped the album like right at the concert, because I was like, man, you guys sounded like this from where now? But yeah, they sound a little bit like, you know, a cross between J5 and Camp Low. I don't know, I just kind of pulled that out of my behind, but that's what they sound like to me. If I first heard them, if I heard them on the radio, that's the first thing that kind of would pop into my head. But a couple of years ago, they had to change their name because, as you know, Asimov is the last name of the famous author, Isaac Asimov, and I think his people were going to sue the group if they didn't change their name, and then they changed their name to the ABs, and I haven't really heard much of them after that, because it's probably kind of hard trying to get back out there with a totally different name, and basically had to start from scratch. But I do hope that they put out more stuff. It's a really good group. Scarab, Heavenbound. See, Heavenbound is a really good album. Scarab is an MC from the Living Legends, and a lot of you might not know Living Legends, but you do know Murs. Murs was and still is a part of the Living Legend True, but he was with them first before he ever went solo. And matter of fact, he was in a smaller group, which is pretty much in basically a smaller part of Living Legends, called the Three Melancholy Gypsies, which consists of Murs, Eli, and this guy right here, Scarab. But this is dope. You should check it out if you can find it. It's more of a, you know, poet, introspective type of cat, and I really enjoyed this album. I had a little bit of time getting my hands on it, but I mean, it's definitely worth it. Fat Lip, the loneliest punk. Fat Lip actually came out with an album. I had to wait like 5 years for this, no lie. I waited 5 years for this thing to come out. Like, I remember when that song "What's Up Fat Lip" came out like in 2000. I'm like, whoa, Fat Lip coming out with an album, and then it kept getting pushed back, and like, I didn't realize like they were having really big label troubles. This is on Delicious Vinyl, and the label was crumbling. So it just really had a hard time putting it out. But it's definitely worth the purchase. Nothing much wrong with the album. It's very good, except for I think they put way too many interludes in it, and it's kind of like a song skit, and pretty pointless skits too. I mean, it really didn't coincide with the album, but I still think it's worth the buy though. I mean, it was really good. I'm glad to see Fat Lip on his own with a lot of, you know, his own flavor. And with that said, I got Pharcyde's third album, Plain Rap. This is a pretty dope. This is a pretty dope album. A lot of people are not gonna agree with me because this is the album, the first album that Fat Lip was nowhere to be found on. And I really didn't care much about that. I like the energy that the remaining three had on this album, and it's kind of like a real chill, laid back, just vibing type of album. And you can throw it on when you just, driving around. It's really dope listen. I mean, if you don't want to take a chance with that, I suggest songs like Misery, which really is really good, and Frontline, and a song called Rush, which is also dope. Check those out and tell me what you think about them. If you disagree with me, let me know. Pharcyde, not saying Pharcyde. 5 Deez, Cool Motor. If you don't know 5 Deez, I really suggest that you check them out, because more than likely, if you underground hip hop head and you deal with the whole I don't know, on the Adult Swim soundtracks, the Samurai Champloo, I'm sorry. The guy by the name of Fat John, and that's him right here. First guy, the guy with the biggest head. He provided most of the beats on this album and most all the other 5 Deez albums too. They have 4, I think. I own 3, but this is their first one. Well, Slow Children Playing. I'm sorry. Slow Children Playing was the first album. This is the second album, but it was like one of the most mature, eclectic, musical hip-hop albums I have heard up to that point. It came out like 2001, and it's just like one of those albums that kind of shape and change the way you think about hip-hop. Well, I don't know, maybe not for you, but it was for me. And it was a really dope listen. Like, try songs like Sexual for Elizabeth. I know it sounds funny, but that's the name of the song. And Plasma Avenue. The intro was really dope, one of the dopest intros I've ever heard in my life. And it's actually Fat John talking to this girl over the phone. And it was like a really dope conversation, and just like he was, like, you can tell he can just get the draws if he wanted to. But he really had this really cool ass beat going around in the background. I was like, man, this is dope. Yeah, this is a dope album, and I hope you get a chance to hear it up. If anything, try to find that intro. It's called Say Intro. Man, this right here brings back so many memories, dude. Like, this is one of my top 5 favorite albums of basically ever, man. A lot of people are gonna say that Bizarre Ride is, but nah, I disagree, homie. Lab Cabin all the way, baby. It's just like the way they came out, the funk, the energy, the soul, like it's just like that total vibe. Like when that song Bullshit came on, it was just over for me, man. You should listen to it every day, but I'll be back with like a part 2, part 3, or part 4, whatever. Peace.